move on to the next topic is nomenclature of amino acid. Okay, before I go through to the discussion, as a reminder, I want to remind you that the amino acid have two different functional group, which is carboxyl group and amino group. According to the functional group priority chart, carboxylic acid has the higher priority compared to amino acid. Therefore, naming amino acid is based on the carboxylic acid as a backbone and amino as a substituent. Start naming by identifying the longest carbon chain from the carbon in COOH as a first carbon, followed by the following number of the substituents that present. Write down the name by arrange the substituents in alphabetical order. Okay, look at the example. Okay, so first we have to identify the longest carbon chain in the compound. We consider as the carbon holding the COOH as the first carbon. So this is the carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, carbon number 4 and carbon number 5. And it has one amino group at the carbon number 2 and one methyl group at the carbon number 4. So the name of the compound is 2-amino 4-methyl pentanoic acid or leucine. Okay, look at the second example. First, we have to identify the longest chain in the compound. So this is will be the carbon holding the double bond and OH will be carbon number 1 and carbon number 2, carbon number 3. So they have two substituents here, amino group and phenyl group at the carbon number 3. The name of the compound is 2-amino 3-phenyl propanoic acid or phenylalanine. Okay, look at the next example, glycine. Okay, glycine have two carbon in the compound. Okay, so and one NH, two substituents at the carbon number 2. So the name of the compound is amino acetic or amino ethanoic acid. Okay, the next example is alanine. Okay, alanine have 3 carbon. Okay, this is carbon number 1, carbon number 2 and carbon number 3. And it have one substituents, amino group substituents in the carbon number 2. So the name of the compound is 2-amino propanoic acid. Okay, the next example is valine. Okay, this is the molecular structure of valines. Okay, we have to identify the longest carbon chain in the valine. Carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, carbon number 4. Okay, and the longest carbon chain in the valine is 4 carbon. So they have one amino group in the carbon number 2 and one methyl group in the carbon number 3. So the name of the compound is 2-amino 3-methyl butanoic acid. The next example is isoleucine. Okay, isoleucine have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbon chain. So it have one amino group attached to the carbon number 2 and one methyl group attached to the carbon number 3. So the name of the compound is 2-amino 3-methyl pentanoic acid.